Now, this one's going to have a little setup because we heard from so many people, and I think some people might, by this point in the show, figure out what we're talking about, the setup here, because we had so many people write in about Belichick.
Oh, yeah.
The collective had comments and things to say, and the majority was the same, but basically it's about that. Let me play this clip for you.
The messy split from Robert Kraft and the Patriots in early 2024.
He's got a cold, so I'm not going to kiss him.
I have to ask about Robert Kraft because 24 years together, 6 Super Bowls. Unless I'm wrong, he's not in this book. How come?
He's not. Well, again, it's about my life lessons in football, and it's really more about the ones that I experienced directly.
But he's not even in the acknowledgement section.
Correct.
Correct.
Do you feel like you were treated with dignity and respect when you were let go by Robert Kraft?
Yeah, well, it was a mutual decision for us to part ways.
He said fired.
It was a mutual decision.
Okay.
Okay.
Good one, Joe.
Wait, we got more. Wait,
let us comment on that first before you go to the because I think I know what the next thing is.
Yeah.
If I had a guess. All right, let's talk about that portion of it first. Okay.
Oh my God.
First of all, you're doing a CB. You're there to promote your book. Okay. You got a new book. It's CBS Morning. It's like a CBS morning show, which you're talking about lobs, softballs. Nobody's pressing you on anything. I don't blame him for the animosity he has to Kraft. I don't. Because
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Basically stuck it right in his ass. You know what I mean?
Yep.
In a lot of ways. All right. So that's fine. I have no problem with that. But you have to understand that you don't have the control anymore like you did here, right? Like you're Belichick, you can't control the media anymore. CBS doesn't give a rat's ass who you are. They don't care. They're not gonna adhere to your standard and what you want to talk about and not talk about. It's just not gonna happen.
Well,
right?
Chris, interestingly enough that you bring that up, today Belichick releases a statement basically saying that we had an agreed upon thing that we were only going to. Now, this gets into the next thing I think Joe's going to play, but he starts asking personal questions. So I think, according to Belichick's statement, just to summarize briefly, it basically was, you're going to give me slow pitch softballs. This is what we agreed upon. It's only going to be about the book. And then they because I think the guy started to get frustrated with his answers. Now he said, okay, screw you. And he veered off and started asking other questions that, according to Belichick, they agreed were off the table.
Outside the scope.
But then CBS responds to what Belichick releases and says, no, that's not true. He knew what we were going to ask. And
we had no agreement.
We had no agreement in place. Like we had latitude to ask whatever we wanted.
Yep. Joe, go ahead.
Well, we got to give the fans what they want, and here it is.
Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
We're not talking about this.
No?
No.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on.
We're not talking about this.
We're not talking to that's Jordan Hudson, his 24-year-old girlfriend, who evidently was sitting at the desk. Everybody's seen this by now. She was sitting at the desk, and evidently that was just one clip and bit of what she did in that interview. She stormed off at one point, it's reported, right? She had some other things to say. So, yeah, you're right. I think CBS was pissed off and basically saying, okay, normally we would edit those things out, but screw you, Bill. We're not going to edit those things out because you made this such a friggin' calamity with your girlfriend sitting over there.
And Chris, so this has been talked about all week on local sports shows and media, and you picked up on something that we won't name the local person who said it. unless you want to. I'm not
I
going
don't
to.
care.
And you caught a clip of what he said. What did he say, Chris, about how the media dealt with Belichick?
Yeah, I mean, I Curran said it. I think Felger said it, where they came out and basically said, "Hey, look, this is CBS. They don't care who you are. We had to play ball with him, basically.
For access."
Yeah, now I'm paraphrasing. We had to basically play ball with him for access. So we could only press him as far as we could press him, and then we would lose access or we would lose him. So we couldn't really do that.
Wait, I'd like to hear that clip. You go find that. We'll find that.
You're a
I wanna hear
journalist.
what he says.
I've always said, Mark, these are puppets. They don't press, they don't push, they don't do anything.
And that comment, Chris, that comment that you heard, there it is.
So what the hell kind of journalist are you if you're not going to push them? What? Because you won't answer anyway, so why do it? The hell kind of, what is that?
Yeah, Mark, he got away with it.
But getting back to her, okay? Getting back to this little situation going on. So I guess she's like his publicist and
she's his publicist. It's almost like his manager.
This girl's got no idea what the hell she's doing. She shouldn't be doing it. And by the way, Steve Belichick's wife then came out and said, basically, she doesn't know what she's doing. She shouldn't be in a position to do any of that. And by the way, nobody in the family likes her.
Oh, how about that?
Mark, look, she's trash. She's over there friggin' with this guy, and we know what she's doing. She's accumulated since 2021.
$9 million in real estate.
In real estate assets. Where the hell did she get that from all of a sudden? But Bill, just answer the question. We met on a plane. Well, you can't answer that question and move on?
Listen, I think he's lost it, Chris. I think he's lost it a little bit. He's at a certain age where he's getting old now. I think he's lost it. He's with this young girl, and he's letting her do whatever she wants because he's chewing on those vitamins. And, so he's got the vitamins. And listen.
Rose box. God.
Listen. But Chris, he'll never coach in the NFL again. This was such a bad look for him. No owner is bringing him back, Chris. This is it for him. This is his last go.
I think he knows that.
I think he knows it. If he didn't know it, this pretty much sealed the deal for him. Like, it's North Carolina, and he's finished. He's never coaching again. This is it. He ain't going anywhere else.
Yeah. I mean, this is completely on him. He looks terrible. I don't think he cares. I don't think he really gives
what the hell was that sweatshirt he had on with the hole? Somebody said that was a brand new sweatshirt. That was like a fashion thing. Like, they sell them with that hole in it. That's for kids that are 20 years old.
20
not
years
him.
old.
Yeah.
And on top of it, how do you not have a UNC shirt on? You're wearing Navy? You got Navy on. You coach it.
Thing. You should have a UNC hoodie on, right?
How long do you think this is going to last for UNC? How long do you think they're going to
I have to believe, Chris. I have to believe that the athletic department is not happy with all the, with all of this circus and this press.
He better win.
He better win because he's not going to last long there if he doesn't win. Trust me. So I'm interested to see, Chris, how much he has left with X's and O's. Because obviously, whatever's going on, he's lost it. But does he still have it X's and O's, Chris, to outcoach some of these bozos that are in college?
I think
because we've seen these college coaches, Chris. These guys, some of these guys are clueless. So
I think he does.
Does he still have the X's and O's in him to do that? You think?
Yeah, I think so. Sure, I do. But with all this other stuff, look. At first, I thought this is strategic. He's trying to sell his book. And what better way to do it than to go on CBS Morning and do all that crap? Because then it hit Fox News, MSNBC, TMZ. It hit all the outlets. But then
it wasn't about the book, Chris. It was about
but you know what, though, Mark? That
wasn't like something happened over the content of the book where he wrote something scathing about Kraft or anything.
No. And he brings it up in the book. He talks about she's his muse and all this stuff. So that's fair game.
Yeah, no, it is fair game.
At first, I thought it was to sell a book. Now I don't think that anymore. I think that he's just lost it. And she's opportunistic. I said trash. I said trash. Okay, opportunistic. She's
should take that back.
opportunistic. I'm not taking anything back. I don't take things back on this show.
That's a bad word to use. That's
I
not
don't
true.
care.
You
I
don't
heard
know
other
this young
people
lady.
say that.
She's a respectful young lady who's making a living off of
Yeah.
a 74-year-old man.
But I think she's done this before.
Whose faculties are in decline.
But I think she's done this point. Listen, he's got benefits here too. I'm sure there's a reason he's with her. I don't know what that is. We don't want to speculate, Roast Box. We don't want to speculate. But the bottom line is she's opportunistic. She's developed a portfolio. She's making money. I feel bad for his family. Okay? That's who I feel bad for. Because they got to get dragged through the mud through all this too.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they're gonna make out on the book sales.
Yeah, are they though? Are they going to get the money, or
They're
she?
gonna inherit all that money.
Well, listen. You know what I want to tell Steve Belichick's wife? Well, but he's your meal ticket, honey. He's your meal ticket, honey. What would your husband would be parking cars at the local diner if it wasn't for the father?
That's true.
You know what I mean? That's your meal ticket, honey.
Well, because they're watching their inheritance get pissed away right
now.
Well,
that's true too, I guess, right? That's true, Chris.
You know what I mean?
True.
I mean, right? Like, what? And maybe they care about the father. I don't know. But
no, that's true.
We have to assume they do.
Yeah, she propped him up in the Navy T-shirt like we did that Birdies.
This girl has no clue what she's doing. She has no idea what she's doing. She knows she doesn't know what she's doing. This is a real shit show. What's going on here? I can't wait to see
I got news for you, Chris. She's not going anywhere either.
Oh, would you?
No. So
good looks. Good luck for Belichick.